Well, we are counting down to the flagship Landlord Investment Show of the year in London on the 9th of July. And joining me to preview it is co-founder Tracy Hanbury. And Tracy, wow, where's the year gone? We're heading towards this flagship event, and reading about it, it seems to me that it's just got bigger and better. Is that the case?
Yeah, first of all, where has the year gone? Because it just seems, I'm just a bit like, okay, can someone slow things down a little bit? But yeah, I'm very excited about the show on the 9th because I think it's the biggest in terms of content that we've ever delivered. And, the amount of panels, the amount of subjects that we're covering, new initiatives, there's a lot going on. So I'm very, very excited about this one and just spinning plates at the moment, but it's all good.
Well, the kind of tagline is knowledge is power. And that's never more true than now in our sector because there are so many changes occurring. Obviously, the kind of headline one is the Renters' Rights Bill, and you've got that well covered, haven't you?
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's a huge topic, and it's still, as we know, sort of going through at the moment. But we have got some amazing speakers on there. So I think on that morning we've got Suzanne Smith from the Independent Landlord. We've got David Smith, economics editor of the Sunday Times, Paul Champolina, Susie Corolla. There are some amazing, people with absolute knowledge here, and yeah, that will be a very, very big one to kick the day off, really.
Well, and it's so important because, as you said, the Renters' Rights Bill is kind of ongoing. There's still so much uncertainty about it. We're coming into the final stages now, and I think just to have that panel of experts bringing everybody right up to date, but then also the chance for the audience to ask questions at the end as well. It's just a really important session for landlords, I think.
What we're trying to do, obviously, the March show, it was just kind of making sure that everyone understands what renters' rights bill, because it really it worried me because we often do surveys, and we sent a survey out to some of our landlords, and I would say it came back, it was around 47% of landlords didn't really understand the implications. So we kind of set the scene in March to go, right, this is what it's all about. July is going to be about, okay, this is happening. It's a bit scary, but with the right, with the right things in place, let's look at what you need to do to comply to get to the next stage before we get, that it's announced. So it's just trying to keep people informed along all the stages and give them as much knowledge as they possibly can, especially on the legal side, because that's where a lot of people won't understand naturally. So it's breaking that down and making sure that everyone's got a good idea of, they won't often sometimes understand they've got to change certain things. So, and that's where the legal side will kick in. And we've got some amazing legal experts on that panel to help with all of that.
Awesome. I mean, we've said that the Renters' Rights Bill is front and center, but there are other issues for landlords that actually do deserve equal attention. And I was really pleased to see that you've got something on making tax digital because that is coming down the pipe. And I don't think landlords are up to speed on that.
Again, a lot of people have no idea what this is all about because there isn't TV campaigns going out there. There isn't, there's not enough information. And as we know, with our kind of landlords community, which is, around 110,000, there's a lot of them that don't know about that. So can you imagine how many that don't actually know about it in the sector? And that's people that we communicate with on a daily. So we've got an amazing panel lined up for that. So Hammock, the two founders of Hammock, which is obviously an amazing, app which is all about making tax digital, and they're one of the actual approved sort of people that will be rolling this out with HMRC. We have them on the bill. We have a representation from HMRC themselves, and we have an accountant from the CEO of DNS who will obviously is making tax digital as well. So again, it's just setting out that stall and letting people understand this is happening and this is what you can do to get yourselves prepared for it.
Yeah, and I think the show really delivers people a roadmap of what they need to do next for certain things. So I think the panel debates are always absolutely brilliant. There's you've got all sorts of different topics in aside from that, like prop tech and new investors. So there is literally something for every level of landlord there, whether you're just starting out and you're just buying your first buy to let, or you've got 100 properties. There's going to be a knowledge base there for any level of landlord to tap into, isn't there?
Oh, 100%. And that's really important, that we cover something for everybody at the show. And we put a lot of thought into, where are we at the moment? Where is it going? Keeping people up to date. And the main thing for us is that education centre. So, people, come out in their droves on that day because they need to be updated, and they can have so many amazing connections, sit on panels where they won't have access to these experts. It's the one chance to do that. So yeah, and also, going back to the new gen or the new investor, a lot of people find themselves, as accidental landlords as well. I mean, I met a lady at our Midlands show, and it's quite sad because she was explaining to me that her dad has dementia. She has no background in property, has no knowledge. Her dad has built an amazing portfolio, but she's now having to step in and deal with all of this. And, she said, I found your show and I've met so many people that can help me. And that gives me great satisfaction with making sure we're hopefully connecting the right people. So yeah, there is really something for everyone, whether or not you're right at the beginning or you're even potentially exiting. What do you do? Or if you're handing that portfolio down, who's actually stepping in to take that over and what family members? It's so important that we give out the right education.
No, it absolutely is. And our industry and the way information is delivered is so fragmented. You have to go to lots of different places. You get lots of different emails coming into your inbox. And I think coming to the show is actually a very efficient way to get like a massive download of information in one day from industry experts. And I think the source of the information is so important as well. You mentioned Suzanne Smith, the independent landlord. Her information is absolutely top notch and can be trusted. So I think, from the education point of view, the show's got that covered. But if we look at the two other aspects, there's the networking, which you and I always say is so vital in our sector, but also meeting with suppliers. And there are so many new products and services out there to assist landlords make life easier, streamline, make things more efficient. It's a great opportunity for landlords to come and check out all of these different products and services and see, if they need one or two or five or whatever to fit into their routine.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I totally agree. And Suzanne is a fountain of knowledge, and obviously is ex-lawyer turned landlord. And I've been working quite closely with Suzanne on a number of things, and we're very. I'm delighted that she's on board with the shows, and sort of sharing her knowledge. And that panel will be fantastic, and there are some amazing opportunities in all the other areas, as you say, including the prop tech, including the developer. There's a lot going on, a hell of a lot going on.
Now, we've said that the show is one day, but it doesn't have to end there because you've now got your community hub where people can go on a daily basis if they need to and get information and contacts as well, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we launched that at the sort of beginning of the year, and the idea was, we've got this huge sort of subscriber list of landlords, UK landlords, and then let's create a bit of a bit of a hub, and within that hub, the benefits that they get there. I mean, it's totally free as well. We don't charge, for any of those services. You've got, Kate Faulkner has done some amazing reports for us on London, Midlands, Kent. She'll be doing more stuff in London. The Manchester show, the reports that Kate delivers are, they're just invaluable. So, you get those. We've got Suzanne Smith covering, the latest on the Renters' Rights Bill, and it's just building out all the time. So, again, people can just, sign up and be included within that hub, and there will be lots more that's going to be bolted onto that as well. Sort of in sort of Q4. So that is building, and it's incredible to see that building as it is, which is great.
Awesome. So 9th of July, Old Billingsgate, London. What are the opening hours?
So it's 8:30 till 5 p.m. And what I would say, I'm not sure if you've seen this, but we've also got a new initiative on that day, which I've kind of brought live to stage, which is called Rent for Goods. This I'm really excited about because it's very personal to me, actually. And it's an hour and a half in the main auditorium. We have got so many amazing speakers on there. Kate Faulkner is chairing that for me. I'm also going to be talking on that. We've got Eddie Hughes, who's the ex-housing minister. We've got Ollie Reid. There is honestly that we've got about 8 speakers that we're splitting into 2 sets of 4. And Rent for Good really is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. And it came about because I had a landlord that I'd met at one of our sort of smaller networking events, and they had said to me, "Oh, you know what, I'm actually getting really fed up. I don't know what to do. I think I'm just going to get out." And I said, right, okay, well, obviously the Renters' Rights Bill coming in, they've got fears. And I said to them, have you actually looked at potentially going through some of the schemes available, like the council schemes? As a family in our separate business to the shows, we use them, and they're very, very good. And we've housed a lot of families over the years that might have been on lower incomes, that might be single mum that's got a couple of kids that needs a stable home, and they've been tenants for years and years and years. So this landlord went off and did exactly that. And I called me up and said, you know what, thank you, because I've now done that, and I've got a little bit of peace of mind, because there are some great schemes out there with guaranteed rent and all sorts of things. So that then got me thinking, you know what, we've got a huge crisis. We've got a huge housing crisis in the UK, and how can landlords potentially bridge that gap? How can we maybe play a part here, where if people are thinking of exiting, there are other options, and there's so much going on in the world, of the social housing, there's the assisted living, there's children coming out of care homes that need somewhere to go. There are some amazing companies out there. So it just got me back to thinking of, actually, when I really think about things, when I was 4 years old, when my mum and dad left Ireland because there wasn't any work, there was troubles in Ireland, near the border where I lived. My dad brought us to England. We actually lived in temporary accommodation for quite a long period of time here. So we lived in a single room, the 4 of us, with no cooking facilities. And then we were lucky enough to get housed in Brixton, where I lived and grew up, until I was a teenager. So when I really thought about it, I thought, it's quite weird. My obsession with property goes back to then, because I have been in that situation, and there are some really vulnerable people out there. And, with the Renters' Rights Bill coming in, it worries me quite a lot of what is going to happen to the more vulnerable side of our society, and how, what does this mean? Because you and I know, the demand on rental properties is so high, and you've got a queue of very good applicants. So what happens to these other people? So, that kind of really, that conversation that I had with this one chap led on to all of this. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do this. And, the people that are on that panel are people that are doing it. They are doing it. They're in the thick of it, so we'll be talking a lot about that. And it's, you know, I'm very proud that I'm doing it. It's not going to be for everybody, and that's fine. But all I want to do is to case study, show what's available, and actually give landlords another option. So I'm doing that, and it's happening on the 9th as well. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Well, that is a wonderful initiative, Tracy, and I just love it that it came out of the show. That just seems like a really serendipitous thing that that landlord went and did it and came back, and then that inspired you to think bigger. So I think that would be an amazing session, and I totally agree with you that there are a lot of landlords, you know, in their twilight years who are thinking of exiting, and maybe, you know, they can educate themselves about the options of the different schemes out there, and maybe they'll stay in for another 5 years, which is to everybody's benefit and probably to theirs certainly as well. So yeah, that's going to be an amazing session, and I'm just going to wish you so much luck with that. And let's just finish by reminding everybody that tickets are free. So why wouldn't you go and have a lovely day out in London by the river and meet loads of inspiring people and top up your knowledge, and come away armed with everything you need to be a better and more successful landlord. So I'm sorry I won't be there next week, Tracy, but I'll be there in spirit, and I'll send you lots of good wishes for a really successful day. And it sounds like it's going to be absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thanks, Vanessa. No, I'm sad that you won't be there on this one, but hopefully the next one. And yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. It's deep breaths at the moment, and there's lots of yeah, it's the biggest lots of content that we've ever delivered. So it will be fine. It will all be good, and I'm going to just embrace it and go for it.
Well, that's what the Hanburys do. They take everything and make it bigger and better each time. So it's going to be an awesome day, 9th of July, London, 8:30 to 5, and free tickets. And I will put the link to get your tickets, register for them below this video. So lovely to see you, Tracy, and good luck on the 9th of July. Hope it's an
Thank
awesome day for
you.
everybody involved.
Thank you so much. And thank you always, Property Tribes. Really appreciate it. And I will see you hopefully very soon.
I love you.
Love you too. Bye.